All right, so somebody asked about how to improve the vertical leap. Two things before you get into that. Address whether or not you have good mobility throughout your ankles, knees, hips, and spine. So ideally you would get screened for that through someone who can perform the functional movement screen or do a Z-Health assessment or some other type of gait or mobility assessment. Get with a professional. That's my advice. That out of the way. If you can dorsiflex or pull your feet, your toes up without pain, and you have your heel on the floor, you've got roughly this kind of an angle, you're probably okay. Same thing if you can plantar flex or put your toes down, point your toes pretty far without pain, good enough. But an easy mobility drill is to do pretty much that. I recommend holding on to something for balance, and then if you point your toes and make a circle at the ankle in both directions, 2 or 3 circles, no pain, and don't move through strict tension, move right to the edge of tension. What do I mean by that? If I'm pointing my toes and that's where I start feeling tension, that's as far as I need to go. Again, this is a mobility issue. What does this have to do with your vertical leap? Much like running, you will only be able to run as fast as you can stop. Same thing applies to jumping. You will only be able to jump as high as you can safely land from. Somebody mentioned plyometrics. I do not recommend you go out and start doing plyometric drills. Find out what kind of mobility you have, and then build up to a plyometric exercise. Jumping into it, not to use a pun, but may not be the best thing for you. So don't jump into jump training. Easy way to, however, build up a landing reflex and thus improve your vertical leap is to learn how to land. One of the drills from Z-Health is to go up on your toes and then slowly sink into a landing position. If you're in sports, you understand what the static athletic ready stance is. That would be feet pointed ahead, knees slightly inside ankles, hips low, hands in front in whatever position for your sport. Spine is nice and tall, set up. So think of landing in your static athletic stance. So if I hit on my toes, I'm going to roll into the landing, static athletic. A little bit wider, hit on my toes, land. Up on the toes, landing. You increase the speed. By doing this, I can build a reflex that allows my body to be comfortable, absorbing my weight as I drop into the bottom of the squat. Thus, when I jump straight up, my body doesn't have a fear of landing. So if you've done it in neutral, where both feet pointed straight ahead, about shoulder width, or a little bit wider static athletic stance, take it into a split position, stay right foot in front, and perform the same drill. Start slow, switch your position, build up the reflex to land, you will be able to jump higher. Second thing, sounds goofy, but it works. Go to the wrists if you have low ankle mobility. Check it for yourself. I'm going to pretend that my fingers are fixed in space, and I'm going to move my wrist up and down. Again, no pain, as little tension as possible. Then side to side, so my fingers are fixed in space, I'm going to move my wrist inside and outside. Inside and outside. This would then go to a full circle from the front. It translates directly to, for whatever reason, more mobility in the ankles. Another thing I would look at would be cervical or neck mobility, so perhaps some simple rotations and tilts, possibly gliding front to back. So you can see it from the side. Do some dedicated mobility work, practice the landing, and you will jump higher. Beyond that, exercises, squats and deadlifts are going to improve the muscles that are used in both landing and jumping. So improve that and you will get higher vertical leap. That's all. Thanks. James from 5 Rings Fitness.